Most people think health starts with food or medication. But let me tell you a quiet truth almost no one talks about. The air inside your home may be making you sick. In fact, according to the Environmental Protection Agency, indoor air can be up to 5 times more polluted than the air outside. And for older adults, that pollution doesn't just cause coughs or stuffy noses, it can affect memory, mood, even the immune system. Strange odors, stale fabrics, invisible dust, they don't just feel unpleasant. They quietly wear down your health. In today's video, I'll show you 10 science-backed rituals that older women have used for generations, not just to clean their homes, but to protect their lungs, nervous system, and even emotional well-being. And you won't need expensive sprays or chemical cleaners, just simple habits that work. So take a breath, and let's start with something as basic and as powerful as opening a window. You'd be surprised how many older adults come into my office talking about shortness of breath, low energy, brain fog, and we look at their medications, their diet, their sleep. But there's one thing almost no one ever mentions: the air inside their home. And yet, the air we live in, the very air we breathe all day and night, can quietly shape how well we function. What's strange is, we often assume our homes are the safest places. But according to studies from the EPA and Harvard School of Public Health, indoor air can hold more pollutants than the air on a busy city street. That's especially true if windows stay shut all day, or if the same air keeps circulating through cooking, dust, cleaning products, and stale fabrics. Over time, that can build up to a kind of silent pressure on your lungs, your brain, and even your mood. Here's where something beautifully simple comes in: opening a window. Even 5 to 10 minutes of fresh air each morning, while you fold laundry, wash up, or make tea, gives your home a moment to breathe. It helps flush out lingering carbon dioxide, chemical particles, even odors you might not consciously notice. And it refreshes your own respiratory system in the process. It's a quiet, powerful habit. One that doesn't cost anything but gives your body something priceless: cleaner air and a lighter feeling in your chest. The women I know who've made this a routine often tell me it lifts their spirits too. It's like the day feels more possible when it starts with a breath of outdoor air. And I believe them, because the science supports it. Now, once that air is moving, we look next at how to clean, without causing more harm than good. That's where a humble bottle of vinegar comes in. Not everyone loves the smell. I get that. But let me explain why it works. Now, I know vinegar doesn't smell like a fancy lavender spray or those commercial lemon-scented wipes. But that sharp, tangy scent, it's doing something real. White vinegar, or acetic acid, has natural antibacterial and antifungal properties. That means when you wipe down your kitchen counters, bathroom sink, or even the inside of your microwave with a simple mix of half vinegar and half water, you're not just removing crumbs or fingerprints. You're lowering the microbial load. In plain terms, getting rid of tiny germs that build up quietly over time. More importantly, you're avoiding the chemical cloud that comes from synthetic cleaners. A lot of store-bought products smell clean, but that's just fragrance. And in older adults, especially those with asthma, sensitive lungs, or even mild memory decline, artificial scents can irritate the airway or even trigger dizziness and headaches. Vinegar cleans without that risk. It doesn't mask smells, it neutralizes them. And when you add just a drop or two of real essential oil, like lavender or citrus, you get the benefits of aromatherapy without overwhelming your senses. Speaking of smells we forget, let's talk about fabric. I've visited homes where everything looked tidy at a glance. But then I'd sit on the couch and notice something faint in the air. Something stale. Something that lived in the curtains, the throw pillows, the winter blanket folded on the armrest. Fabrics are like memory foam for odors. They hold onto cooking fumes, pet dander, dust, pollen, and even skin oils that build up slowly, week after week. They don't always smell bad, just tired. And that matters more than you think. Dust mites and allergens settle into soft textiles. And over time, these can irritate your lungs, dry your skin, even affect how well you sleep. If you've been waking up with a stuffy nose, itchy eyes, or feeling groggy in the morning, look around your bedroom. That favorite old throw blanket or those untouched curtains might be telling you something. Washing them seasonally, even just 4 times a year, can make a difference you'll feel. Add a splash of vinegar or a few drops of essential oil to the rinse cycle. It freshens naturally and leaves no residue. It's not about having a perfect house. It's about lifting invisible burdens off your body, one gentle habit at a time. And here's one most people never think about: the trash can. Not the trash itself. The actual can. We'll talk about that next. Most people are good about taking out the trash, but very few remember to clean the can itself. And I don't blame them. Who wants to get down and scrub something that always feels a little gross? But here's what I want you to know. The inside of a trash can, especially one used daily in the kitchen or bathroom, is a perfect environment for something called biofilm. That's just a fancy term for a layer of bacteria and mold that clings to surfaces over time. Even if you always use liners, liquid can seep through, or bits of food and dust settle in the corners. And after a while, you've got a quiet colony of microbes growing, right where you store your waste. For older adults, this matters. Our immune systems don't work quite as fast as they used to, and exposure to mold spores or certain bacteria can lead to sniffles, allergies, or even stomach upset, especially if hands aren't washed well afterward. The fix? Give your trash can a 5-minute spa day, once a week. Soap, water, and a little vinegar. Scrub it out, rinse it clean, and let it air dry before inserting a new bag. It's not glamorous, but it's one of those invisible cleanings that gives your body less to fight against. Now let's shift to something that gets overlooked even more: scent. You might not realize how much smell shapes how you feel, but your brain certainly does. The part of the brain that processes scent is directly connected to your limbic system, the center for emotion, memory, and stress. That's why the smell of cookies can take you back to your grandmother's kitchen. Or a certain perfume might remind you of someone you love or miss. For older adults, this connection is powerful. Studies show that pleasant, familiar scents can lower cortisol, your stress hormone, and increase oxytocin, your bonding hormone. They literally change how your body feels and how your heart relates to the world around you. That's why I recommend a simple ritual. Simmer a pot of citrus peels, cinnamon sticks, or fresh herbs in water on the stove. Or use a slow cooker on low with the lid off. The scent fills the home slowly, naturally. It doesn't punch you in the face like artificial sprays. It wraps around you like a soft memory, calm, warm, and safe. And that feeling? It helps lower blood pressure. It improves sleep. It soothes loneliness. It's not just about having a home that smells clean. It's about creating a space that feels like home. One breath at a time. Let's talk about carpets. They're cozy. They're warm. They're easy on the joints. But they're also a favorite hiding place for everything you don't want in your lungs. Dust mites, pet dander, pollen, dead skin cells, and even microscopic bacteria that get stirred up with every step. Now, I'm not saying you need to rip up your flooring, but vacuuming alone only takes care of the surface. It's like brushing your teeth without ever flossing. You miss the stuff that causes real problems over time. If it's been a while since your carpet had a deep clean, it might be time. Even just twice a year, using a hot water extractor or renting a simple steam cleaner can dramatically improve the air you breathe. Add a splash of vinegar to the rinse water and you've got a natural disinfectant in the mix, without perfumes or harsh chemicals. It's especially important if you have pets, live with allergies, or find yourself coughing more indoors than out. Now, while we're talking about overlooked spots, let me ask you, when was the last time you cleaned behind your toilet tank? Or took a peek at your dishwasher filter? Or poured anything down the bathroom drain besides water? These little corners of the home don't call attention to themselves. They just sit quietly, collecting moisture, hair, dust, mold, you name it. And over time, that buildup doesn't just smell musty. It affects air quality, increases microbial exposure, and can even draw pests. I tell my older patients, pick one forgotten spot per week. Just one. One corner behind the fridge. One sink drain. One closet shelf. It's not about perfection, it's about momentum. Because something powerful happens when we do these small, gentle acts for ourselves. We start to feel more in control. More present. More at peace in our space. And here's the thing about peace, it doesn't come from an air freshener. It comes from consistency. Older women who build small routines, airing out the house, checking the trash, fluffing the couch pillows, maybe lighting a gentle candle in the evening, they're not just cleaning. They're caring. For their bodies. For their memories. For their sense of dignity. And over time, those habits do something medicine can't always do. They help the mind feel safe. And a mind that feels safe is a body that starts to heal. You know, I've met many older adults who quietly carry a sense of shame, not because of anything they did wrong, but because aging sometimes makes it harder to do what they used to do so easily. They used to clean the whole house in a morning. Now just vacuuming one room takes energy. They used to bake, host, decorate, now even lighting a candle feels like too much effort on a tired day. But here's what I always remind them. Health isn't about keeping up with who you used to be. It's about supporting who you are right now, with care, with kindness, and with real strategies that match your needs. So if you're over 60 and wondering whether it really matters to wipe down the trash can, or open a window, or wash those curtains once a season, let me say this as clearly as I can. Yes, it matters. Not just for your lungs or your immune system, though that's true. But because every time you choose to care for your space, you're sending your body a message. I still deserve peace. I still deserve freshness. I still deserve a home that welcomes me. Scent, in particular, carries so much more weight than we think. A soft lavender note. A clean pillow. A kitchen that smells like lemon and light. These are not little things. They are daily reminders that you are still here, still worthy, still capable of comfort. There is dignity in that. There is healing in that. And there is something deeply powerful in knowing that, at any age, you can create a space that supports your well-being, with nothing more than what you already have at home. So start small. Choose one ritual. Open the window tomorrow morning. Add vinegar to the laundry. Simmer orange peel and cinnamon on the stovetop. Do one thing. Then another. Your body will thank you. And more importantly, your spirit will feel it. You don't need to chase perfection. You just need to build presence. And if that presence smells like clean sheets, a hint of rosemary, and a quiet kind of strength, well, I'd say that's medicine in its own right. If you find this helpful, give it a thumbs up. If not, type 0 in the comments, but if it helps, let us know by typing 1. And don't forget to subscribe for more life-saving health tips.